Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Championship Sunday for the European Winter Cup, hosted by Slipstream. I am Solar, and I'm joined in the booth by the rather blue-haired Muzz. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, no, good in yourself. So, super keen here for some excited Rocket League. I think both these teams are going to blow us away, of course. What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we're in for a very good semi-final coming up. We do have Bplus Choke getting through in the upper bracket of Group A versus two Rosti, one Bratwurst coming through the lower bracket of Group B. Two very different runs to this stage, but only one can advance to the grand final and put themselves in the money.
Yeah, no, for sure. B+ Choke, they're having a decent run of yesterday's Saturday games. They took down disguised Evoid 3-1 there. Decent win, of course. They beat Up the Dell as well, who had to fight through a loser's bracket just to get you, and they beat them 3-1 as well. So B+ Choke, of course, Solo looking like pretty strong, dominating team there. I don't know, how was the other side of that bracket?
Yeah, it wasn't particularly easy for two Rosti. They won 3-2 against Sanity Astro, but a 3-2 loss to Hamoud knocked them down to the lower bracket final. And once again came up against Sanity Astro. One better this time around, a 3-1 win, closing out in 4 to qualify, but maybe not quite the run they were looking for. Did prepare them a little bit better for this one, maybe. But both teams coming in cold, of course, all that action happening yesterday. Instead, now we find them battling off. Here's Penny. Well forced back towards Hylia and Ravella. The MX subbing in today for this final day. They were looking to put himself in a little bit more money. But Penny controls on the backboard, round from the corner, and Ravella there to cut it out. No shots on so far as Hylia has to force away. And comes back to that backboard once more. They're just not quite getting their clears at the moment as MX to the backboard will again find it cleared this time around, but still not as far as the halfway line. And finally, it took a long time to break through, but Meta gets the goal.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking, yesterday Meta started in his game one very slowly for this Bratwurst side, and then came through with some banging shots and goals as the series progressed. But of course, yeah, already scoring the opening goal of the first game of a potential best of 7 series. I think Meta coming off hot off the truck yesterday with this momentum. The Bratwurst side playing incredibly well against everyone they did. And now we're going to see here for B+ Choke, they can not choke and take out this Bratwurst side, or if it's going to be doomsday for them. Of course, single the limbs the whole way through. So one of these do get to suffer later on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's with this single elimination best of 7 final bracket. It's very much do or die, at least in the group stages. They had that little bit more leeway. What a save! That is from Meta. I think it took a nick of MX on its way towards net. So to even turn that onto the woodwork is outstanding defensive positioning. Really putting it on the line to keep their lead intact. Meta pushing forward again, no boost in the tackle. Choke will take over, gets round Ravella, looking for the touch in field, but no one there to receive. Penny's found themselves a bit awkward. MX is up early. The shot was wide of the mark and turned away, but it's looking scary for both teams at either end.
Yeah, nothing too kind of convincing from either side. You've only got the 3 shots from Bratwurst and about 4 shots here coming up from the B+ Choke side. So no one really applying too much offensive aggression, Sola, and getting into the others, half here. Choke taking the shot. Oh, decent play over. I couldn't see who that was. Maybe MX or Rivler.
Yeah, fantastic little bit of control on the flick. Just about a 45-degree, that one. Just angles his car slightly. Just get that little additional pop over the challenge from Ravella on that one. And half the game gone. In game number 1, we are now all square between B+ Choke and 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst. As MX looks to go under, Choke there to clear. Carries it over the top of 1. Meta slows him down on that sidewall, but can only hand off to Penny at MX this time, looking to force that little bit further down. And it's a breakaway opportunity here, 2-on-1 Choke has wasted enough time just positioning himself to the point that Hylia and Penny can rotate back this time around. 2 players commit to that one. It's confusing there on the line for Hylia, and MX will score.
Yeah, Hylia back here didn't have much boost there. MX as well getting it over his head. Yeah, awkward kind of a backflip that had to be required from Hylia to score that one. And Bratwurst able to go up by another one here, Solar. So kind of just slowly, you know, inching their way to trying to win this best of 7 series here. You know, I think Hylia could have maybe, I don't know if there's even time to turn around, maybe get the handbrake out and try face towards that goal here. I can't say where Penny and Choke were. They didn't seem to get back defensively in time, and yeah, allowing Bratwurst just to put another one into the back of the net. So we need to see kind of Bplus Choke maybe hold onto the ball a little bit more, try gain some more much needed possession.
Possession can do wonders for a team. It can really set the pace for the game. Neither team have done particularly well of holding on to the ball. It's been a lot of back and forth, big clears, and hoping to follow up. And in the chance that someone's not there, maybe getting a shooting opportunity, Hylia has forced his way through. Choke can't drop below the bar, but Penny's there on the follow, and once more we have a level game.
Yeah, Hylia and Choke with a decent read off this backboard, and then of course Penny says thank you so much, I'm going to grab that with both hands. And now Bplus Choke, of course, coming back into, you know, none of the teams I found this weekend Solo were trailing for too long without being able to score. So, you know, we see that again in this very early game of the series, is that Bplus Choke not down for too long against Bratwurst and then able to come back with a decent goal through Penny. So, you know, we also saw a hell of a lot of overtimes come out yesterday as well. Wonder if we're going to get blessed with any more of the OTs, as it seems to be a lot of these teams coming at you are very competitive, and of course that lure of 150 euros, you know, calling their name. So we're going to see if we do get any more exciting overtimes coming out.
Astounded that Penny's not been able to turn that on net. It looked like it had hit his car, but never really seemed to change direction. It's an awkward little touch in front of net as well. Could have caused real havoc there in the backfield for 2 Rosti. But Choke now pops up, looks to slow it down, take Meta on himself. Meta does shut down early. Still on offense here, Bplus. MX can only force the corner. Ravella pops it up high, looks to follow his own touch. Penny was quickest to it, looking for a dunk here. Choke to push, it's wide open. It's off the bar. Hylia once more misses, and a save in front of net. 0 seconds on the clock, and Bplus Choke have passed up a massive chance there.
I mean, you hate to see it there, just opportunity galore coming in there for Hylia and Choke and Penny. Just, they should have been able to try get the buzzer beater, force game 1 into their hands and not go to this OT. And of course, here we are blessed. First overtime of the evening and the series. Who is it going to go to? Of course, these are golden goals here, Solar. So first team scoring gets to take the dub. I wonder who do you think that's going to be? Who do you think is going to be applying maybe a bit more offensive pressure?
I think offensive pressure-wise, it does have to go to Bplus Choke, but will that chance on 0 seconds play in their minds? That's the real question here for me. As Penny puts backward, Choke very narrowly shut down there. Bplus are looking to force the issue here, but maybe stretching just a little bit too high. And as I say, on 0 seconds, not scoring there, it could prove to be just that mental battle. They may end up losing. It could be caught on the counter here by 2 Rosti, but again, they push forward, Choke into the ceiling. Hylia just patient here onto the backboard. MX quickest to that one to clear as far as the halfway line. Hylia cuts the turn. Choke with a challenge again, played as far as the halfway line, but the pressure remains just that little bit longer. They've sat a little bit further back now, Bplus, and they will surrender their offensive pressure for now.
Yeah, just Bplus Choke seeming to kind of really been throttling this Bratwurst side. They're keeping the ball in their half, making sure they hold this ball a lot, and so just not allowing 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst to even get out and play anything. Oh, wide shot from MX there as well. Just one of the very slim opportunities they have had. Solar goes completely wide as well, and so, you know, this weekend we also saw that shooting accuracy also was a bit dim. And that's okay, you know, a lot of shots came out from a lot of teams, and just the ball definitely, a lot of whiffs, a lot of wide ones. Oh, that one as well. Going to that far post. And so we're going to see, it's going to be anyone's ball here, just kind of maybe the team that, you know, makes the mistake and allows to be conceded on. Oh, second man there coming in. Oh, beautiful from Rivler.
It's exactly what I suspected was going to happen. It just caught out there. Ravella, just a shot high, goes in off Penny as well. It's a hard way to lose it. But looking at the stats alone, I mean, Hylia and the team of Bplus Choke have taken a decent level of shots there. 15 to Rosti's 10, and it was just 8 before that last little push there at the end. They do crumble, and that may hurt them, having not closed it out in regulation. To lose it there, it's going to be a difficult one. It is just the one game of the best 7, but mentality is a hard thing to hold on to.
Yeah, I mean, the double commit they're coming up from Bplus Choke as well. Thing is, both Penny and Hylia were trying to come across and stop that goal, and just unfortunately, no one get in there in time, and maybe a bit of communication, maybe just rotations back being a little bit poor there. But anyway, long series, of course, Solar. So, you know, it's fine. This one you can kind of brush under the carpet. It's okay. We're going to head to Forbidden Temple. Can Bplus Choke bring it back? I mean, we know they've got the means. We know they've kind of fought their way through to get here. They had a decent upper bracket run through their Group 1, and you know, they're capable of doing so. So, you know, I think it's okay. MX, of course, replacing is it Art Choke? And so we're going to see, you know, does it make a difference here for this 2 Rosti Bratwurst side? It looks like that is the case for now, but of course it's still early days, isn't it?
Yeah, a long way to go in a best of 7, and just the one game can make a massive difference. But it's quite easy to build back. You'd have to say that for the most part, Bplus were the better team throughout game number 1, just unable to take their chances, and they don't let that affect them particularly much. Keep applying the pressure. They've been doing such a grand job. Oh, as Choke should finish that. Oh, it's not the prettiest of double taps. It's relatively well controlled, but all opens up from that Hylia demo.
Yeah, Hylia, beautiful pass infield as well, and as you mentioned, getting the demo on that last defender as well, and allowing Choke just to score that goal. Nice little opener here from Bplus Choke. Definitely need them to try get an opener here and see if they can't score a second, create a decent cushion for themselves, and then just be able to take out this 2 Rosti Bratwurst side. But of course, we know Meta can come in firing, can score decent goals with the shots. We need to still see what Rivella and MX can do. And then, yeah, we'll have a decent series on our hands. I mean, as you mentioned, kind of maybe a slop here of double touch there from Choke, but that's okay. It probably doesn't really matter how you cross that finish line as long as you do. Penny trying to get it down. No third man coming in here from Bplus.
Choke again to meet that one on the backboard so often, just trying to cause problems, trying to keep that offense on. It's Meta bumped away from that one. Choke will take into the corner, flicks high over MX. Rivella tries to back out of that one. Choke with the demo. The shot from Penny doesn't have enough on it though to beat the final man on 2 Rosti. But now Choke with control pops up high again, gets demoed for his troubles this time around. Penny forces to the corner where Choke has respawned, pops over one, but not a lot of boost to follow up on. MX up early, not a great touch in that corner, will end up dropping it for Hylia instead. That's given this one away just a little bit, but a turn and bump there from Choke slows down any real clear here from 2 Rosti. Rivella turns in the corner. It's all a little bit awkward from both teams at the moment. They're trying to settle back into a rhythm, but as we've seen, there's been a little bit more physicality in game 2, Muzz, and it's causing problems for both teams.
Yeah, a lot of kind of bumps and maybe angsty anticipation. You know, we saw Choke as well flying into the box there when Hylia was bringing it around, and so we're just not seeing the best kind of control from both these teams. Maybe not the most patience being exercised as they try to build a bit of forward momentum. You know, it's just a couple clangers downfield, throw the ball away, not really hold on to it as much as you'd like. And, you know, fine, we do have Bplus Choke holding on to that 1-goal lead. But I mean, it's been kind of sloppy from both the teams at this point. You know, again, maybe just a little bit more control could be exercised and just maybe a few more passing plays between the players. And, you know, that would create decent forward momentum. So we're going to see who can score next. You know, whether it's going to be 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst, that would be great, pick up the equalizer. But if it does go to Bplus Choke, then I think that's probably going to be game 2. I don't think anyone's really creating too many chances for themselves in this game number 2. And as you mentioned, you know, a bit more bumps and demos coming out.
Choke now looking to come off. He's still got his flip, tries to force it under. It's an awkward sequence of events there. The save was made by, I believe, MX in the net, but it comes back off of Meta, and Penny's there quickest to it on the follow-up. It will be a 2-goal lead, a game that hasn't seen many chances, just 2 for 2 Rosti. That one, oh, nearly going right away, and Penny with a bump, Hylia on the angle, and a quick fire double there from Bplus Choke may well have sealed game 2.
Yeah, and we all of a sudden went from minutes of just kind of no opportunity to score, and then all of a sudden Bplus Choke able to put in 2. But I think it's just kind of been the defense there from 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst. It's not really been as sharp as it could have. We saw kind of double commit there from MX and Meta, sorry, as you mentioned, bumped off the head. And, you know, they want to be able to clear that ball and just be kind of decisive and push it, you know, downfield and make sure they don't get kind of gone on by this Bplus Choke side. So there we go, 3-goal difference. So I mean, that should be enough to close it out. She has Hylia going for those demos as well, and just trying to make sure that any type of plays coming out from this Bratwurst team is going to get snuffed out, and I think they're doing a good job of that. You know, the goals haven't been as clean as we've liked, but, you know, they've gone across the line nonetheless. So yeah, should be Bplus Choke to be able to close this one out. Of course, still a minute left of regulation time, so we can see what happens.
A minute can be enough to score 3 goals, but when you've not offered particularly much going forward, and that double commit on that one is not going to have helped. Choke not quite covered himself in glory there, but the shot initially wide anyway. They're not going to be too bothered about the fact they've not scored a 4th there. They still have that 3-goal cushion and have managed to run down about half of the time they had left when we started talking about an insurmountable lead potentially. And just again, 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst, just have not really got anything going in game number 2. Just the 3rd shot coming on now, and Hylia will force into the corner. That'll do it for game number 2 in what was a difficult way to lose game number 1 in the fashion that they did. It's a perfect response here from Bplus Choke.
Yeah, and only 5 total shots that are coming out from the 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst side as well. I mean, you know, hardly any opportunity to get some shots on goals, but I mean, they, you know, definitely didn't have as much possession as they would have liked, and I think Bplus Choke definitely were closing them down a lot, just holding on to that ball. We mentioned kind of back and forth, you know, long field goal bangers, but yeah, 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst, they can definitely do a lot better than this. Only 166 picked up there by Meta. We've seen him shine a lot more. Had the most shots on the team though, but wasn't able to get any past that Bplus Choke last defensive line. So, you know, there's the equalizer, of course, in the series here now with Bplus Choke picking up game number 2 there, Solo, and yeah, we move forward.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult for 2 Rosti, having sort of clung on at times in game number 1 and finding a way to win a vital part of any series is where you're maybe not at your best, but still getting the result is all well and fine. But when that sort of starts to run out just a little bit, and Bplus have come out in quite a dominant fashion in game number 3. Yes, it wasn't game number 2 wasn't particularly pretty, but again, just finding the ways through and just being nuisances in the offense that really broke their way through with a couple of bump goals and one just a little bit of an unfortunate sequence of events that can really just beat down 2 Rosti here. So game number 3, need to see a response out of them because they absolutely were not at their best, and for the most part of that game just taking the 2 shots, it wasn't enough from them going forward, and you could really see them struggling to even at times break out in their own half, and when they did, communication wasn't there, the teamwork wasn't quite in full swing either.
Yeah, a whole kind of a minute elapsed here of time, and I mean, no one really creates some chances for themselves. MX pushing it off the backboard, then finding Met and a decent pass, but it doesn't last too long when Choke already sends it all the way downfield, and that's kind of what we seen throughout the series here is there's just no kind of momentum being created and nothing being pushed forward so that they can create any chances for themselves, as even Hylia tries to take a shot and then double commit back from the two Rosti 1 Bratwurst side. So, we're going to see what happens here. I think this might be one of the slower games we're going to get to see here. Solas, we're already on, a minute and a half down. Oh, Choke doesn't get the dunk, so met with a decent save, and something we're going to need to see a lot more of for this 2 Rosti 1 Bratwurst side.
Just shy. I think Choke is really the one that is making things happen on that offense mechanically. He's one to watch, to say the least. Penny gets under one there. There's actually no one at home here. MX does just neck back in time, but for a very brief moment it looked like they had been left wide open. Hylia, not particularly much boost. Does get the musty flick to the backboard, will be cleared out. Penny looking for the double, can't get back down to the ball. Initial touch, not optimal for that one. Again, Hylia is up. They're just keeping this ball at the halfway line. They've not particularly found each other going forward there, Bplus, but it was just keeping that pressure on for that little bit longer and potentially frustrating this 2 Rosti team, but Meta somehow has snuck that in at the near post. I don't know if it's just a poor challenge there from Choke, but it's 1-0 all the same.
Yeah, Choke kind of jump in infield, and so wasn't able to get on the good side of Meta. Then I think Meta, just slotted that one home. Got the nice read off the corner there, I think off of Rivella, and then said, thank you so much, I'm going to pop that in. There was literally one shot from both of these sides prior to that Solus. I mean, there's a lot of mid-game action, just where the teams weren't able to get into the either of the opposition's 1/3, and so Meta, I think, taking a very much needed chance and goal there, because I mean, hell, we weren't seeing much happening between both these sides here. And so 2 Rosti 1 Bratwurst finally going up. They definitely needed. Of course, 2 minutes remaining. You have regulation time. Maybe we're going to see a couple OTs come out like we did yesterday. Maybe not, Chef. We look at kind of just how the games are going so far. Oh, decent. Was that a bump? Was that a bump there by Hylia, I think?
Absolutely. Hylia just seeking Meta out. It's brilliantly done. Sees Meta jump and just meets him exactly on the same trajectory and leaves Penny with an empty net, who you have to say has been incredibly patient going into that one as well. You can understand if he would just sort of rush that shot when it gives MX maybe just a slightly different approach on that one, as Choke has hit the inside of the post with what would have been a sensational double tap to take the lead there, but denied only by the woodwork, and they have to start over again. It's Choke every time going for those flashy plays, individuality in essence, and unable to convert this time around.
Yeah, just MX going wide there. I mean, that's going to be the story we're going to be telling kind of as these games and series go on. Just accuracy a little bit not where the teams want it to be. Hits the post, hits that post as well. They made it taking the shot, getting exactly the same spot MX produced. I mean, this is not the kind of the crossbar challenge. Please don't aim for the woodwork. 2 Rosti 1 Bratwurst desperately trying to get something into the back of the net here. Sola, 2 failed attempts coming out from them, and a really quick counter attack here from the Bplus side, getting it over this halfway line. But we might get an OT here. We're going to see what the remaining 40 seconds has for us.
As Hylia pops up, the angles could be too tight from there, tries to pinch it across net, but Choke again, just working it slowly out of that corner. It avoids Penny, but Hylia waiting. That bump from MX, that's to help turn that one on for Penny there. Not a great touch from Hylia as Met shoots from the backboard. Choke with a pinch clear, and up again looking to send this one middle. It's an awkward bounce, but Meta catches it beautifully. Hylia, last man patient. The flip reset. He misses the touch. Ravella with his shot denied by Choke on the line. Maybe one last push here for Bplus. Cut out in the middle from Meta. He keeps it up now. Ravella into the corner. Penny waiting. Will clear out to the halfway line once more. MX trying to send this one down. That will bounce. Game 3 goes to overtime.
Yeah, second OT here of the series, and you know, it's kind of possibly come to be expected. You know, both these teams not really giving themselves too many opportunities to try to get into the back of the net. They're highly with a very decent save across face of the goal. Can be dangerous, but he does get it out. And now quick counter attack here from Bplus. Choke. Is there going to be a touch off the backboard? Penny. Oh, there it is. Penny. 18-second goal.
Lovely angle on that one. Again, it's Choke making it happen. What a touch to the backboard in front of the defense there. Having to redirect it. Opens it right up. So much still to do though. And Bplus take game at number 3. Wasn't a comfortable one for them. They actually took less shots in that game than 2 Rosti 1 Bratwurst did. But just having the edge to get through that game. In a game that was very shaky for both teams, and just those defining moments, those individual just moments of brilliance that really separated these two teams. And I think Bplus have shown that they are the team that can take that next step forward in terms of asking questions, opening the defense up, and really make it difficult for their opponents.
Oh yeah, I mean 100%. I think we saw kind of the passing plays and the way they could score goals been a lot more clinical and cleaner than what we saw from the 2 Rosti 1 Bratwurst side. Not like they're unable to score. I think we've seen Revelia and Meta definitely doing well on that front, and they can score goals, but you know, just is cleaner coming out from the Bplus Choke side. They just seem to be making it work. You mentioned Choke, you know, he's been instrumental in just creating kind of synergy for the team so they could do things. Penny being there, Hylia being there, just so they can slot it away. And you know, I think with that kind of cleanness and just decent comms coming out from a team solo, I think, you know, we could possibly see this Bplus Choke team go the whole way through. Maybe 2 Rosti 1 Bratwurst being more of the underdog team here. Not, you know, not to be counted out, just maybe, you know, it's a 55-45 type of thing.
Yeah, they are a little bit up against it, of course. Not playing with the original starting roster. MX subbing in for Arco there, and they're finding themselves up against it. 2-1 down in the series. Of course, it is a best of 7, the semi-final, so there is a ways for them to go. Yet they do need to win another 3 games with Bplus Choke. Just the 2 required. There's a bump there from Penny. Should open the door for Choke. Ravella gets back in time to turn it over the crossbar. Hylia hits the post. Penny on the follow, and Ravella can't keep it out this time.
Oh my goodness, and just absolute team goal coming at you from everyone. Choke takes the first shot, doesn't get it in. Hylia shoots down to that near post, and then Penny with the follow-up as a third man beats the last defender there from Bratwurst. And oh my goodness, that's kind of, you know, what we're coming to see here from this Bplus Choke side is let's score a team goal, get the 1-2-3 out, and slot it into the back of the net. Much sooner than what we saw in the previous game here within the first 1 minute. Yeah, you love to see it, Solo. That was great. Penny coming in from deep. Again, you mentioned the patience, you know, patience there from Penny, doing so incredibly well. Said, Hylia, you might just fluff it. I'll be here to fix things up. And yeah, my goodness, what a decent goal.
A little bit messy in the backfield, though. It just very occasionally happening here for Bplus Choke, and maybe that'll cause them some problems as they move on in the bracket. Should they do so, they find themselves 1-0 up in game at number 4. The 3:25 left on the clock. Penny will send that forward. No one there in support, and MX will clear comfortably. Does find Choke though. A double whiff there. Ravella actually gets credited with the save there. Must have got the tiniest of touches, but drops onto the post. MX looking for an infield pass. Not enough on it to beat out first man and Choke. An awkward touch there from Meta. We'll just take that away from Choke and Penny on the offense. As MX gets a doink into the corner. No one able to pick up again. They're looking to connect going forward, but just not got men in the right positions, and that is a brilliant beat there. Just a matter of milliseconds there, Choke getting to that ball and slots it home.
Yeah, I mean, highly a beautiful pass infield there to Choke. Choke beating out that last defender from Bratwurst and absolutely slotted that one. Did you see how fast that went in? Definitely, I'm sure, over 100.
I did not quite catch it, but it had a lot on it, I will say that much. Even if there was a man back, might well have been struggling for that one. It's a perfect connection going forward.
Oh, goodness, yeah. I mean, just, I love how they're finding each other, right? Hylia just, oh, yeah. Red beautifully just finds Choke on the nose, slots that one in, man. Beautiful goal there coming out. And now, you know, we're struggling to see two Rosti, one Bratwurst kind of create any drive forward for themselves. They're just stuck in their own half, smothered by these kind of hyenas that is Bplus Choke. Just Choke here, trying to just stop them with any ball. Painey there as well to try block them, and Hylia to block them on that midway line. Just they cannot try get out of their own half at all.
It's almost like a hunting technique, isn't it? Where they kind of just pin them down and slowly but surely just wait until they run out of energy, and then they can move in and attack. But it looks as though two Rosti have found a way to bite back. Meta into that top shelf. Didn't really look like you had that angle on, but it is a goal back all the same.
Painey seemed to be stuck in the bottom corner there, not really deciding what to do. And so I think Painey, kind of anyone on the Bplus Choke side, could have had the opportunity to try save that, and maybe just thought, well, this one's going to go top bins and let me leave it. Yeah, and that kind of good for Meta there to bring that back. I think, you know, two Rosti, one Bratwurst that, you know, been waiting for that opportunity to try slot one home. Oh, there it is. Well, Meta with the second, and already with the quick equalizer.
And it's Ravella again setting that one up. A gorgeous ground pinch into the middle. No one able to keep pace with it. And Meta, what they can do, he can do better. All square in game number 4. Glorious equalising goal. And we find ourselves back in potentially overtime territory. Still a minute and 15 to go. These teams really going blow for blow here in game number 4. Hylias, not a great touch. But thankfully for him, no one from two Rosti able to follow up on it. As Ravella pops high, looks to follow his own touch, sees Choke on the backward, just tries to get a dunk in to help keep pressure on. But what a touch that is in the midfield from Choke, and they've restored their lead.
Yeah, Painey just finding the player there. Oh, MX so high up with the rest of the Bratwurst side, just all kind of still trying to recover, and Choke with a very quick counter. They're bringing it, you know, with a long field goal. So, you know, no one really trailing for too long here, Solo, without a quick rebuttal coming out, and I think Bplus Choke seem to be masters of that. So, you know, still a lot of time left on the clock here. We've got a quarter of a minute, you know, well, it's 3/4. You know, can something come out of this two Rosti, one Bratwurst side, or we're going to see kind of a game 4 going here to the blue team? Maybe.
Hylia with a clear. Oh, this could be interesting. Meta back by himself, not a lot of boost in the tank, does make the clear. And now they come forward again. A great infield, but MX cannot make contact. I think Painey may have had him shut down anyway, but in those crucial moments, you have to be meeting the ball with everything that you've got, and they have to start over again. Just 5 seconds to go, down by a goal. MX try to play it slow, gets the 50-50 up. Hylia tries to drop. Meta and MX are there, double commit in the defense. It's gonna go down, and Ravella can't get there. Bplus Choke edge out game 4.
Oh, and here we go. So we're on to that series point where Bplus Choke, now they can take it home 4-1. And yeah, two Rosti, one Bratwurst. You know, I think we're gonna have to see a lot come from them. I think it's, you know, can you close down Choke? Can you close down Painey? You know, they're just finding each other and doing such incredible things on the field, with Hylia just really closing out the entire team and making it work. You know, they're kind of off the wall passes in midfield should be kind of some indication to Bratwurst. They need to try close down the midfield, try catch that ball even. I'm sure it's difficult to do, but you know, we've watched how many goals like that solo where they find the man infield who just is able to get past the last defender quite easily, because also I think we're often seeing that the two Rosti one Bratwurst side is always quite committed and high up. You know, there's no kind of really dedicated third man at the back that's potentially trying to stop any of these onslaughts.
Exactly. It's so difficult because they want to beat Choke to that ball, but twice they've been narrowly beaten and found it go into an empty net. Two fantastic shots from Choke and great passes from Hylia and Penny at the time, but at what point do you just sort of give up on the idea of we can't beat them to the ball, let's just try and maybe slow the pace down a little bit, try and play it to our suitability and maybe see if we can take something there. They really should have tried to do that long before now staring down the barrel of defeat, one game away from being eliminated as Meta tries to send a middle, no power behind it, no boost in the tank. Choke is up again, he's unchallenged for now. MX is too slow, and once again Choke will score.
Yeah, and then, you know, once again kind of finding the man. Penny there takes a shot, MX goes high, doesn't get higher than Choke, of course. Beautiful aerial control, just the mechanics from this play, as you can see the skill. And yeah, Bplus Choke, you know, we're not kind of surprised that they can get an opener like that so decent within the first 1 minute, and you know, a lead they're kind of accustomed to holding on to, as well as we see MX trying to take the shot there, but nothing awfully convincing from this two Rosti one Bratwurst side. And so, you know, the reverse sweep now, so there's also something to consider, and it's obviously a difficult mountain to climb. You know, not too sure if the climbing gear is on this team. Oh, well, there we go, Rivella with the score, MX assist.
I think that's a Rivella assist and a Hylia goal, that one. That is mighty unfortunate for Hylia, just falling down from the backboard and sniped out of the air quite like that. That is incredible, and you can't see it in chat, but Hylia has just asked team, question mark, and Rivella has said, yeah, we got the synergy already. So yeah. I think despite everything, all in good spirits, all good sportsmanship more than anything, but Hylia a little bit unlucky on that one.
I mean, that's essentially what these, you know, these competitions and leagues and cups can do, right? Just bring out sportsmanship, bring out some decent banter between the teams and the players. You know, thanks for competing. We love competitive Rocket League. You know, let's see if we can push each other absolutely to our limits. And of course, I think two Rosti one Bratwurst are doing this here for this Bplus Choke side. You know, we're looking at a 1-1 game right now, which we haven't seen in a long time here, Solar. So things are looking pretty decent. I think we need to see Meta get up front again, try score some goals, get fed by the team. Rivella doing a decent job of that. I think MX needs to also maybe pick up the pace a little bit. You know, definitely being more of a quieter third man on the team. I think we need to see a bit more crazier action coming from this MX player. And yeah, then things can look good here for two Rosti one Bratwurst. But you know, again, we're looking at Bplus Choke just kind of hold them in their own half. Oh, a nice bump out though.
2 minutes 40. We are level again. Rivella will put a shot on target. Hylia does get the save. It was relatively easy to deal with. Had a lot of pace on it, but grounded and towards the centre of the net. Wasn't really going to create too many problems. As Rivella again looking for that infield ball. Choke does miss the touch. Penny's a little bit awkward. Hylia will get one touch. Looked for the double off the side wall, but no such luck. Demo here on Penny. Rivella drops middle, and Meta tried to beat to the ball there. Did in fact do so, got shot on net, but Hylia was there to make the save within an instant. So haven't quite got this clear though. Bplus Choke. There's a traded demo there. Meta is up, goes too high for the double tap. Rivella unable to follow. Still no definitive clear here from Bplus Choke though, as they try and find a foothold going forward. Rivella has just about forced that wide, and Hylia hits the same post. Goal gaping. Cannot put his team in the lead.
I almost thought Rivella there was going to score an own goal as well. It was so incredibly close to going into that far post, and then Hylia choked, so to speak, a little bit and didn't sink in that second touch there. Solo, I mean, you know, if there was any opportunity here for this Bplus choke side to send that one home, that was it. Oh, and the damn pesky woodwork they're keeping out now. 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst. I mean, this is a phenomenal game 5 we're witnessing between both these teams. Just everyone fighting tooth and nail to try sink it home. Might be Painy. Yes, there it is. Picks up the second goal for Bplus choke.
Yeah, Ravella just a little bit up. They're forced into a touch by Hylia. Tries to get back in time, and MX not up early enough. It's a fantastic shot from Painy there. Just to slot that in the top shell. Make it as hard as possible to turn it away. But Mez put one on straight off the kickoff. 3 seconds later, and we are once again tied up.
MX with the beautiful stopper, and then of course Meta to follow up. Nice little punt there, brings 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst back into these, and of course in Rocket League Solo, you know, a quick little kickoff goal like that can bring you well back into a game very easily. And you know, of course with 1 minute still remaining, you know, a lot of time to talk about, but I mean, that was a much needed goal there.
Absolutely vital for 2 Rosti to get that one in and stop any real momentum being generated by Bplus choke, or even just stopping them from battening down the hatches for that final minute and close out the series. It's a goal they had to get long before 0 seconds hit the clock, because if they're trying to do it on a buzzer beater, it's never going to be easy. Choke not got the read on that waterfall double tap. MX up a lot of time here, gets a flip reset round. What a save at the back post from Hylia, though Meta was there. It was a gorgeous set from MX, but it's not enough to give them the lead late on. And could we well be going to our 3rd overtime of this semi-final?
Man, I mean, you know, if Hylia wasn't there to get that ball out of the net, I mean, that was Meta came in there absolutely cracked. And of course now, you know, this is again going down to that golden goal. Oh, very close there for Hylia MX to keep that one up, pushing it wide. Man, you know, these kind of goals, they're coming in thick and fast, and you know, by the skin of their teeth, these teams are just barely been able to push them out. I mean, whether it's going post or pushed out by a defender, it's just so crazy how kind of the intensity and the momentum of both these sides have really been ramped up as we've gone deeper into the series at this moment. So Hylia, they're taking another shot, trying to sink it in. 6 shots and 4 saves, right? Hylia has been doing absolutely God's work here on the side of Bplus choke, because my goodness, been all around the park.
Oh, that one's gone in though. That is a mistake there. I don't think, well, choke for one, should be missing that one, but Painy doesn't realise how much time he's got on that one, and the bump from Meta actually forces Hylia into a 2nd own goal of the game, and it is a game back here for 2 Rosti.
Yeah, I mean, Painy stuck in the corner, wasn't going to be able to get around quick enough. Then, of course, Hylia ends up getting the demo, but of course, Meta's pushing that one with some decent momentum to score that goal. So, yeah, they survive a little longer in the series here. So, I mean, they're going to try get through to the finals. But, you know, again, we're still sitting kind of on a series point for Bplus choke, and so 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst now have got that very kind of daunting gruel of, can I get the reverse sweep? Can we try push this to game 7 and get a win? Not impossible, but definitely difficult to do. Yeah, and I mean, wow, we've seen such decent Rocket League coming up from both of these sides. I mean, it's been very entertaining.
Absolutely, and I thought genuinely that this series could have been done in game number 5. We do move to game 6 here, and they're looking for a soft reverse sweep here, really going from 3-1 down to try and push it all the way back to game 7 and get to the grand finals here. It's game number 6 underway at Beckwith Park, midnight before we could potentially see the appearance of Champions Field. The ball across from Ravella to MX doesn't go far enough, and MX in a car that we don't see particularly often. In fact, I don't think I've ever casted anyone playing in the Mudcat before.
No, I don't see it too often either. I mean, it's Octane or Fennec basically, right? Those are our 2 golden standards. as Choke tries to take a shot and they're kept out by Revelia. But I mean, what? Maybe some of the new ones have come out lately with all the patch updates. You know, we've had the Fords. I think we've had the Skylines. We maybe even had a Ford 150 Hylia there with another opener.
Yeah, fantastic shot there from him. It just left with maybe just a little bit too much time there. A total of 65 miles per hour behind that shot and up in that top shelf once more. Again, so difficult to get up to him with Meta right under that ball as well. Really didn't have a chance. An early goal here for Bplus. Will try and close it out here in game number 6 as Choke just about gets enough on that one to keep it out.
MX, yeah, if MX, Revelia and just, you know, Meta can just kind of have that hungry, you know, dog in the fight where they just keep pushing, keep, you know, throwing their bodies at that ball to the net like Meta did when he got past Penny and Hylia, you know, then they can score a bit more. You know, they just need to try be a bit scrappier potentially, not in the way they kind of control the ball, in the way they, you know, lose possession of it, just scrappier, you know, get some demos, get some kind of more bumps on these guys. I think we're seeing, you know, Bplus Choke really be the team that gets out the bumps and the demos, but, you know, two Rosti, one Bratwurst, the Choke they puts in a second, you know, they need to be kind of maybe, you know, more ugly on the field, don't you think so? Like a couple bumps, you know, get out the last defender potentially, come on.
Just give themselves that little bit more of a chance, because we have seen some pretty shaky defending here and there from Bplus Choke, but have really just offered enough going forward to suggest otherwise. And how's that one stayed out there for 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst. MX incredibly unlucky, but someone has to finish that one off, and that has been a glaring problem throughout the series, and Hylia will make it 3 at the other end. That's so hard to take, and that goal could well be the one to seal it.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Meta and MX both going up for the double commit as well, right? So there's not even like a call out saying, I'm committed to this ball, I'm going to take the shot, let me try get the second touch off the woodwork. Nope, double commit, you know, we're both going to botch this, you know, it doesn't go in. And it's sad to see, because I think that kind of was the goal that this side needed to at least be back here in this game 6 and trying to keep their series alive. And now, you know, a third going in through Hylia. You know, you don't want to look at the proverbial nail in the coffin, but I mean, it's early to say, but, you know, Bplus Choke with all the control here.
It's going to be hard to fight back from here, especially when they haven't been really the best team throughout the series. They've had their moments where they've really gone toe to toe, but you can't definitively say that they've actually been better than Bplus Choke. Bplus Choke have just made some mistakes. They've conceded some rather unlucky goals, particularly in game number 5 there, where honestly it could well have gone their way, and it's so difficult to come back from this point, down by 3, just under 2 minutes to go. It's entirely possible in terms of mathematical probability, but in the way that they've been playing, and when they have found themselves down by more than 1 goal, they've just become desperate. The touches have not had any real purpose. They've not been shooting particularly well, and Choke with a lovely dodge into the net and back out from the side wall of that net to make the save. There for the follow-up, trying to very much finish this series off, but they can just manage the game from here. 3 goals up and 1:15 to go. It's all but over here.
Yeah, you think how incredibly difficult a reverse sweep's going to be when you still have to try and come back from 3 goals as well. So, you know, definitely super tough ask here for the 2 Rosti, 1 Bratwurst side. I mean, they've done incredibly well throughout this weekend, and just to get this far as well, kudos to them. But I think, you know, as you've mentioned, Bplus Choke definitely seem to be the superior team tonight, making less mistakes, decent passing plays between them, the players, and they're just, you know, making it work. I mean, Hylia finding everyone midfield. So does Payne. Choke usually on the receiving end of that. Decent touches, absolutely whacks it off the nose. I mean, just they're doing such incredible work shooting when they get into that attack in third. And so, yeah, I mean, my hat's off here to Bplus. Choke up by 3 in this game. I think they've definitely smothered any type of chances that 2 Rosti 1 Bratwurst had, as MX tries to go up, but I mean, it's going to be nothing that really gets controlled by the orange outfit, and that's kind of something I think we've seen a bit too much of here in this series, Sola.
Yeah, you saw it there just towards the end of this game, that 2 Rosti 1 Bratwurst just couldn't really get it cleared, and they're expecting almost to have a little bit of help, I think, from Bplus Choke, but Bplus Choke were just kind of sitting back. They were rotating well, cutting in where they felt necessary and therefore keeping pressure on, but they had moments where they could just kind of sit still and watch as 2 Rosti almost panicked in a way to try and get the ball clear, and you could just see communication had broken down. The heads had gone down as well, and as a result they just couldn't find a way to generate any offense after they went down by that 3rd goal. So don't get me wrong, they put up a very valiant fight, 4-2 final score in that series, and 3 of the, I think actually 4 of the 6 games in fact settled by the 1 goal, and we had 3 overtimes there as well. So some very well fought games, but ultimately the better of the 2 teams has come out on top, and we did just see in that final game just the slight difference in quality, where it wasn't particularly, you know, flashy goals, but it was just a far more controlled, professional performance.
Yeah, definitely a bit more put together, you could say, was that Bplus Choke side. Well, they're going to go through as our first team into the grand finals. Now, of course, the second semi-final fixture we have is Hamud up against Up the Dale. And we're going to head to a very short break, and then we'll have this series for you. Don't go away.
Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me